Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Dino, and it's been about 5 weeks since I've released a video. And the reason is, well, my wife and I have been working on building this pergola, redecking the deck itself, and just generally working around the yard, taking advantage of summertime. Now, it's also been super hot here. It's been, I don't know, 35, 37 degrees Celsius with a humidex that gets it up into the mid 45 degrees Celsius. So it's a little bit hot to be out here filming out in the shed. So I promised you a review on the Mantt seat that I sort of reupholstered on my DR650. So today we're going to do that. One other reason I have been making videos is, well, if you look around here in the Tinker Shed, it is an absolute disaster as we work on our deck out back. So today I'm going to give you my initial review after about 400 or 500 kilometers on this seat and let you know what I think. So sit back, grab yourself something cold to drink, and enjoy Dino's Tinker Shed. I'll see you in a minute. When I reupholstered my factory DR650 seat pan with this Mantts seat kit about 5 weeks ago, I promised everybody I would do an initial review relatively fast after I've had some time to put some kilometers on it. Well, it's been about 5 weeks now, and I've got about 500 kilometers on the seat that I think I can give some reasonably good reviews. Now, the seat, if you remember, was challenging to reupholster with this Mantt seat kit. And if you haven't seen that video, I will include a link down below to show you exactly how challenging I found getting this seat on. But I did manage to get it on. And overall, I really like the look of the seat. I think it looks high quality. The materials seem to be reasonably well built. And I was excited to get out and do some riding with the bike. My first initial ride on the motorcycle was interesting to say the least. When I rode my stock factory Suzuki gel saddle, after about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I would really start to feel the seat pan underneath the gel foam. Now, I don't know if it's because mine was breaking down or what, but there was really two things that bothered me. One is I could feel that seat pan in my butt cheeks, and the other thing was it was quite narrow, and so you felt like your butt was slipping over the edge of the seat. That's how I always felt. There was not enough support there to support my butt. I don't know how else to put it. This Mantts seat definitely resolves that issue. It's much wider. It's about 11.5 inches wide versus 8 inches wide on the factory seat. So it really does support your butt cheeks much, much better. And because the foam is a little firmer, you don't sink in so far and you don't feel the seat pan after about an hour and a half. It really is quite comfortable. The seat itself is shaped in such a way that you have about 3 different positions that you can sit in. Right up tight against the tank, your standard position, and then if you want to stretch back a little bit, the seat sort of tapers a little and gives you another sitting position that gives your butt a break after several hours in the saddle. And that's always nice. The factory DR seat really was pretty much parallel the whole width of the way. So whether you slid forward or slid all the way to the back, the pressure on your butt was always in the same space. Just your legs would move a bit. This Mantt seat sort of gives you 3 distinct riding locations that allows you to take a break every hour or so, or every 20 minutes, just sort of move around a little bit, and it puts pressure on different parts of your body. The other thing I like is the foam is much firmer. So you do feel that extra support, whereas on the DR, you tended to move around a little bit. On the gel seat, the factory foam is a little bit firmer, obviously, the standard foam. So I do like that. The seat itself tapers really nicely up near the tank. So when you are off-road and you're trying to maybe turn tight, or you want to stick a leg out to make a sharp turn, it really does provide a nice option there for you to slide forward on the seat and get your weight nice and far forward to put some more weight on that front wheel. So I like that. What I'm going to call the standard seating position, or where you would most likely sit as a natural sitting position, again, nice and wide, very comfortable to sit on. You can definitely sit on that for hours and ride away. And as you slide to the back, like I talked about, it lets you stretch your legs out and does give your tailbone a little bit of relief from the other two positions, I guess is how I would word it. Now, there are a few negative things that I've noticed with it that aren't really a game killer, I guess, or a game changer. I'm not sure how you'd word that. But right away I did notice that because the seat foam is firmer than the gel saddle, engine vibrations do travel through that seat much more than the factory gel saddle. And in fact, it's enough to tingle your nether regions quite a bit at certain RPMs, especially when you're on the highway with it, around 100 kilometers, maybe 110 kilometers, when at least my DR gets a little bit buzzy. That buzziness transitions through up into your tailbone and in around other areas of your body that I did not notice with the factory gel seat. So it's not intolerable, it was just unexpected. And I suppose after a certain amount of time in the saddle, maybe 6 or 7 hours in a day, which I haven't had a chance to do yet, you may find it a little bit uncomfortable. The other thing that I did find different from the factory seat is when you do come to a stop sign or a stoplight and you go to put your leg down. Because the seat is wider and the seat foam is firmer, you do feel the seat on the inside of your thighs when you put your leg down or you put both legs down. And it is something that isn't painful or anything, it's just you do kind of notice that it makes reaching for the ground a little bit harder. However, the seat itself is lower, so you have less seat height but more seat width, and they kind of balance each other out and sort of feels around the same reach to the ground as I felt with my gel saddle. And I think it's important to note the gel saddle is a little lower than the standard foam to begin with. So really, this seat here, very similar in height and feel, for ground reach anyway, to the gel saddle itself. Now, even though I've only had about 500 kilometers on it, the stitching has held up well. I was worried initially about the staples in some of the material, maybe pulling out after some use, and I'm happy to say I haven't seen any issues at that after 500 kilometers. Now, I realize 500 kilometers on a motorcycle is nothing, so I'll give you an updated review when I get maybe another season in or something like that to see how this seat holds up. And certainly if I start to see some unusual wear, I'll bring everybody up to date on that. So I guess that brings us to the last question is, would I buy this again? I think I would. Now again, there are a few things that you need to understand, that it is a bit buzzier and you know, you can feel it in your thighs. Overall, for $114 Canadian, I really think this is a good value. And if the buzziness bothers you, I'll bet you a sheepskin cover on there would really, really do well. And I know my friends at Skidmate, they both ride with sheepskins, at least Emma does. And she says it works fantastic. I might investigate putting a sheepskin cover on this to see how that would work. I think it would be an awesome combination. So that's pretty much my review on this. and my initial review is I think I would buy this again. I kind of like it. I just am not sure on the durability yet, and that's why I'm not giving it 100% yeah, go out and buy one of these things. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the Harleys are out today rolling around. I have to get back upstairs and edit this video so that I can let you know what my thoughts are on this seat. One thing that's interesting is people in the United States, I don't think, have access to this seat yet. It's only a Canadian thing, which is kind of interesting. So unfortunately, this might just resonate with Canadians at this point, but Mantts, if you're out there and you're listening, I think you've got a group of people in the United States that want to buy this seat and get it on their DR650, and they're a huge dedicated market to the DR650. So for today, I'm Dino. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you find it useful. If you did, by all means, please like and subscribe the video. And until then, you tinker easy. I'll see you later.